Happy New Year, everyone! And for the very first time in 2026, Vibe with MJ is back with first video of 2026. Well, you know what's vibing more than Vibe with MJ right now? GST, 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 GST. Oh my God! Wherever you go, GST. Yes, we understand GST is important, but katte juru confusion. There are people trying to make other people understand business and all GST. So this is a short video, hopefully short, and I'm going to cover GST in my own way. And this is not going to be the face that's going to explain. There are few guests who are going to talk about GST for the very first time on Vibe with MJ. So if this is a topic that concerns you, please stay right till the end, else you're free to scroll. What exactly is GST? GST stands for Goods and Service Tax. In simple terms, it's a single transparent tax that replaces multiple indirect taxes. From 1st January 2026, Bhutan have officially moved to GST as a part of more modern digital and fair tax system. Now, before you panic, GST is not something customers have to register. You do not have to file GST returns either. But GST does affect you every time you buy something or pay for a service. Why GST matters to customers? Earlier, taxes are often hidden inside prices. You paid the amount, but you never really know how much tax you were paying. With GST, that changes. GST brings clarity. You will now see the actual price and GST shown separately on your bill. That means more transparency, fair pricing, and better consumer protection. Now, to help you understand what actually happens at the time of transaction, when you pay for a product or a service, I would like to hand over to Ms. Dechen Tshomo, Managing Partner of Innovate Bhutan. She will explain how GST affects us during a transaction and even later on as a customers. Over to you, Dechen.
Okay, so today let's clear some of the misunderstanding that is there in the market regarding GST right now, about how the price has changed currently and how after a few months the product rates are going to come normalized or even become cheaper. Okay, so we try to show that with one example. Okay, say that so we're talking about GST today, right? And say that I have a business called business ABC. Okay, previously this business ABC imported a goods called product A, and the product price from the vendor was 100, and he paid a BST of 10%. 10%, so 10% on 100 is 110, right? So say that the business owner wanted to keep a margin of 90. So 90, when he added 90 as their margin, their profit, the sale price became 200. Now in this, after the GST, they have to charge a 5% on the product, right? So when they charge 5% on this product, it became 210. So 5% GST, 5%, so is equal to 10, so the product became 210. So right now, currently they are selling this product at 210 because they have to clear out their previous stock on which BST, the tax has been already charged. That's why the prices are increasing. Now see that after this stock is getting cleared, in future he wants to import the same product A. Product A, and the rate is going to stay the same. So when when he import this product, he is being charged a 5% input tax, which is 5, but he will not add it into his cost because this one he can get an input credit. So he's only going to consider 100 as this cost price, right? Now if he wants to keep the same margin, say that 90 is the margin that he wants to keep, now the product price becomes 100 and so the product price, so he's not going to consider the 5 GST, right? So his cost price is 100 and his final price becomes 190. On top of that, if you charge GST 5%, how much is that? 190 into 5% is 9.5, right? So when I add this up, the total selling price now becomes 199.5. So if you see, this is how the price change is going to happen. And if you can see, the price even became lesser than how they were selling in previously. So the price has dropped from 200 to 199.5. So this is how the GST is going to get normalized, and the prices are going to decrease after all the stock has been cleared.
Whoa, did you see that? So thank you, Dechen, for making it crystal clear. Yes, as she mentioned, Tatodi, we might feel that the cost is high because it's still the old stock where we already paid 10% tax from India, let's say, then we brought it here. Then we are adding 5% on top of it. And when it comes to the new tax, I mean, like after the new thing, then that 5% I'll not put to my cost because I'm eventually paying it to the government. So I'll not add it, I won't make it 105. Instead, it will be 100. I'll keep 90, 190 now. Then you add 5% of the 190. You saw there was 10.5 difference. Well explained, Dechen. Thank you so much. Now, one question everyone asks is, how much GST do we actually pay? The standard GST rate, I'm sure everyone knows, in Bhutan is 5% unless the item is exempted or zero rated. This does not mean everything suddenly becomes expensive. It's simply that it means that tax is now visible, not hidden. And yes, of course, everyone can see. Talking about customers' view, so many people have any doubt in Durvala. So there's GST, the service charge ki kole. So restaurants like this, they charge service charge like SC labbe. So it's completely different from good and service tax. Yes, GST has the word service tax, but that goes to the government. But service charge it goes to the places like hotel, restaurant, bars ki. All the staffs, they get the benefit from the service charge. At the end of the month, sometimes 10%, 7, 5 year. So all this is divided within the staff. So it's more like tip. So it's okay if you don't want to tip, because they are already getting service charge, but in no way I'm saying do not tip. So this is one doubt I wanted to clear of GST versus service charge as well. To explain this clearly, especially the GST slabs set by the Royal Government of Bhutan, I will now hand it over to Puku from ABIT Private Limited. She will break it down in a way it's easy to understand. Puku, if you're ready, over to you.
For GST, below 25 lakhs, registration is not required. 25 to 50 lakhs registration is optional, and above 50 lakhs registration is compulsory.
So the key takeaway for us as customers is simple. GST is not about tax, it's about accountability. A proper invoice means proof of purchase, earlier refunds or complaints, and businesses being responsible. Let me clear few common myths quickly. GST does not mean everyone pays more, as highlighted by Dechen. GST does not apply to small vendors below the threshold, as explained by Puku. Customers do not need to register for GST. Customers do not file GST returns. Now, why GST is good for Bhutan, you might ask. At the end of the day, GST definitely helps Bhutan. It reduces tax leakages, improve public services, support a fair and transparent economy, and as customers, our role is simple. Be informed, ask for your invoice. GST is not something to fear. It's a system designed to protect both businesses and customers. And also to build a stronger, more accountable Bhutan. So if in case you want to buy the POS system, that enables you with the GST enabled services and all, there are few registered ones under RRCO. So their names are this. So what they do is they take you on board, they will explain to you what GST is, and eventually they will give you a POS system which can cater to your GST services. So there you have it, like GST is not bad altogether. It's because we are in the transition phase and everything can go up and down. And like Dechen there mentioned, right now we might feel the pinch, but eventually when the sun sets in and when the dun is dusted, that time it will definitely benefit our economy and the consumer itself.